Hey, what's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And we are excited to be back for another Fixed Ops
Friday. Let's go.
And we are pumped up to have Owen Moon and Brad Pascal up inside the building. What's going on, gentlemen?
Man, that intro got me fired up. Let's go. Let's go.
Heck yeah.
Let's do it. We're pumped up to be here, Owen. Go ahead.
Where are you guys at today?
Well, I'm glad you asked. If you notice, this is not a pull-away background, and it's not a still picture screen of a virtual background, folks. We are actually right now live inside of the Bayou Garage down here at Motor City in Lafayette, Louisiana, having a great time with JP Guidry and his entire team. But we're inside of a real Fixed Ops area that is making things happen, everybody. You're going to see some moving and grooving. Couple mechanics doing their things. You probably see one back there right now, but we figured, this would be a pretty decent backdrop for what it is that we're doing today.
Absolutely. We're at an independent store that has, just in this building alone, 12 bays, which is amazing. And you don't see a lot of independent stores that have 12 bays. And these bays, as you can see, they're pretty much filled up all the time. They service everything from cars, trucks, SUVs to side-by-sides, boats, RVs. They do it all here. So it's pretty amazing what he does. What's going on, right? So, as we see, you guys are going to notice there's going to be some action behind us. Ignore it or pay attention to it, whatever you want to do.
Enjoy it.
We're here having fun. I love being inside service departments like this, seeing the action going, and it's fun. We're doing Fix Ops Friday right here with the Fix Ops Friday team. We got all four of us here today. Me, Lou, Brad, and of course, my man, Owen Moon, and we're over here having some fun, but we have a special guest for you all today. I'm super pumped up.
We do.
Owen, tell us a little bit about our guest today.
Yeah, so Samantha Foster, she is the Director of Marketing, probably not the correct word, but anyways, Director of Marketing for UVeye. And, we have a really good relationship with her, with UVeye. And, they're doing some big things in the space. They've made some huge waves over the last 12 to 18 months here. And right about the time that Samantha left the dealership world and started working with them. So I'm excited to hear a little more about their growth. And I've got some questions for her. So let's get her on here and let's get going here. So
yeah, let's get it. Yeah, super excited. And you're right. This company is doing some amazing things. Their technology that they have for service departments, for your service bays to be able to help your clients, phenomenal. I'm looking forward to talking about it some more. But let's do that. Let's introduce her.
Let's get her in
Let's
here.
get her in
but
here.
You all know what you need to do. If you're watching this on the
Absolutely.
live or you're watching this on the replay, whatever time it is that you're watching it on LinkedIn or on Facebook.
That's right.
Go ahead and help us out a little bit and tag a car guy.
Tag a car gal and share. Get it out there.
Word out, everybody.
Let's spread this around a little bit. It's Fixed Ops Friday, folks.
That's right.
And we are live. This is not a flashback. This is legit going on right now. We're making it happen. So let's get some folks in here. Let's get some comments in here. But we have somebody we want to introduce. I think, Lou, what are you getting ready to do right now?
I'm getting ready to change the settings on my post so that you all can see it out there.
That's right.
So make sure that you are sending it out there and make sure that it is for public.
Absolutely.
You want this to be for public.
But we're excited. So right now, we're going to bring her to the screen. We've already heard her name. It's Samantha Foster, but we're super excited to announce her because we have somebody who's doing some amazing things, making changes in the industry. It is not just Fixed Ops, it's our industry. We all are part of it. So let's get in here. Let's get her on the screen. We have the one, the only Samantha Foster. Welcome on.
Come on, bring her in. Welcome her in.
There she is.
Welcome her in here.
Hey guys, happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday to you.
That was quite the intro. I mean, I couldn't even up after that, but so happy and so grateful to be here with all of you.
It's all downhill from here. No, just kidding.
Well, I highly doubt that, not with the pedigree that's inside this room right now.
That's
but
right.
What I'd love to do is add Brad, man, let me ask you a few questions. I know you know Samantha also. Why is it important to have her on the show today?
Well, I think what happens, or the company that Samantha works for, right? First off, she's kind of like the front line to really get the message out there about UVeye and what they do. And I'll give you a story why it's important, right? It's like a lot of people, whenever they go through the service department, they lose a lot of transparency, right? And so UVeye has the ability to provide quite a bit of transparency for not only the customer, but also technicians and stuff like that, because they can catch things like, for instance, one of the guys that works with Samantha sent me a picture of of a vice grip holding a muffler on that they found with their technology as it went under there. Well, if it was coming in for a regular oil change, you would have never saw that in that area, right? So it provides transparency to the customers about their vehicle, but also provides transparency in the dealership to technicians, service advisors, and everything like that. So,
well, and I'll add to that. I think it also gives the team more confidence, right? When you have a system like UVeye installed in your service department, you can use that to be confident when you're recommending, right? As opposed, because there's a stigma out there still that, we as an industry like to add RO lines that don't necessarily need to be done. You hear it all the time, right? That's the dealers you don't want to be. I think a company like UVeye with their technology brings a little more transparency to that environment and gives those technicians and those advisors a better understanding of what's going on, so they can with confidence make those recommendations. And I think more of that needs to happen. And I'm really loving what they're doing over there at UVeye. So
I love what you're talking about here, and I do agree with that. I think that it brings in so much more confidence for the person who's going to go talk to the consumer about what's wrong with their vehicle. They don't have to feel like they have to prove it to them. They can just show it to them. Like, hey, look, here's what's going on with your vehicle. Here's how we can fix it. Or here's what's going great about your vehicle. And you're doing a good job. So maybe next time we'll look at that and we can fix it. Whatever it is, it's something that you can say confidently without them leaving thinking it's fixed. Let's say you say it is good and you just assumed it was, and then they leave and they find out there's something wrong with their vehicle, like on their wheels. You're going to be feeling horrible. But this system is designed to help you not miss those opportunities to be able to help somebody too. And I love that. It's very transparent, and it's so needed. And with technology today, we're silly not to be doing things like this more often. So I'm so glad they're leading the way right now. So Samantha, let me ask you, what are you most excited about right now about the whole business, everything that's going on with you and UVeye?
I think what I'm most excited about is just helping service departments and even, the new car side of the business bridge that gap, bridge that trust gap, bridge that transparency gap, and get better information to customers. Yesterday we had posted a video, and it's Alex Bowser, and one of the things he says to a lot of the points you guys are making is that what he wasn't expecting from our technology was the impact that it was going to have between the customer and the service advisor, right? So building that relationship. Building that relationship through visualization, through all these little data points that now we're actually able to show the customer, share with the customer. We're making them a part of the process instead of, the other way around. So it's a really exciting time to be in automotive with all the changes that are happening and, just all the technology that's out there that we can actually implement into our dealerships. So.
That's awesome. And it's so true. The thing is that anytime that you're communicating with a customer, you can speak with conviction, you can speak with true confidence. It's going to translate. If you're not excited about what it is that you're bringing to the table for your customer and the future of their vehicle, they're not going to be too pumped about what you're telling them. Now, of course, they have to separate with dollars. They have to separate with time sometimes to get things fixed. But when you actually have an advisor that knows what they're talking about and knows that they know what they're talking about, you're not getting recommendations that have a customer leaving there saying, man, what did I just get? And did that really make a difference for me? Or, man, I don't really know if I can trust that guy. We all know what it sounds like when somebody doesn't really know what they're advising towards. And then you walk away there being so unsure. Love that this is building the confidence that a customer has with their advisor. But it's really, like everybody is saying, it's rooted on the actual advisor having firm foundations on what it is that they're recommending, because they see the knowledge, it makes sense to them, and they can convey that to the customer. Because it's not always easy to speak customer. You know what I mean? And that's what everybody is trying to build the bridge with. But I love that. Love that, Samantha. Samantha, where are you zooming in from? Where are you jumping in to this actual meeting with us from? Where are you at right now physically?
Physically, I'm in Syracuse, New York. I actually just got from, go Orange. I actually just got back from our New Jersey office where I was able to spend a lot of time with a bunch of our different teams. We had some of our executives from Tel Aviv, Israel there as well, just talking about a lot of the changes and the exciting things that are coming in 2023 for our company. So it's been an exciting week. And now I get to end my week with you guys. How lucky am I?
Come on.
You are. You're super blessed.
Let's go.
Come on. I love it. And I think this is super great. Let me ask you this, Owen. Where did you hear about UVeye? Matter of fact, where did you and Samantha meet?
Well, I actually was talking to Samantha when she was still with her dealership group, and she actually called me and asked me a little bit about the vendor space because obviously taking that leap over, she had me look at UVeye. She had me, just give her any recommendations I could, and not knowing a lot about the company, all I told her was, when you make that leap from a dealership to a vendor side, or a partner on the dealership side, you want to have something that is unique, and that I always say this: you want to be known for something, right? We're known for online service marketing. There's a lot of companies out there that are known as you got your Kaylee that's known as the parts girl, right? So people know that she's into parts. I think that, Samantha's done a great job of really positioning her with the UVeye brand. And that's really all I could give her for the advice at that time. Obviously, it was tough for me to hear because I was hoping that we were going to earn their business, but we're still working on that. But no, she took it and ran with it. And, I think a lot of things have really kind of fell together for that company that I'm not even sure she would have told you that was going to happen. But that's kind of how we met, and I felt like I got to kind of see it from the beginning, and really what it's evolved into the last year and a half years, Samantha.
Yeah, I've been there for just over a year. And okay, I can bring it even farther back. I remember when I met Owen.
Oh, this
years
Okay.
years ago. So I swear, I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you were working for LotLinks? Was it LotLinks?
Yeah, I had a partnership with them. Yep.
Okay, so way back in the day, when I first started in automotive, going to digital dealer, one of my first digital dealers, I didn't really know anybody. When you're walking the halls and vendors are trying to pull you in and talk to you about their products, which now I'm feeling a whole different way.
Now you know the way it works, right?
Yeah. But that's how I actually met Owen. And even from the moment I met Owen, I was like, you know what? This is a guy that I have to follow. This is someone that I want to be connected to in the automotive industry. He was just extremely knowledgeable, and I was very new to the industry, and I really appreciated him taking the time to just teach me. So that's where I'm at, Owen.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
And I love that. And one thing I do love about Owen and his company, to include Brad and everybody that's there, they truly are that. They see that it starts from the top, right? And when Owen's doing that, and he is that person, that it relates to everyone. He's got a dynamite team. I love Brad. Obviously Brad's here on the screen with us, and Brad's phenomenal too. He does so many things behind the scenes that are not even automotive related, but he's out there being a solutionary in my book, always doing something to try to help other people. And that's something that Owen, he encourages that with his people. He encourages that inside himself. Since the day we met Owen, he's been nothing but an encourager for us too. So I can't imagine what he did with you and trying to earn your business and trying to be a friend. We believe that it's relationships over revenue every time. When you put people over your profits, you're always going to do a lot better. You're always going to end up having more clients at the end of the day. Maybe not today, but a year from now, you're going to be way ahead of the game if you do things like that. And what I love about Fixed Ops is that they always look for ways to do that for their dealers too. So it's not just the people inside and the people around them, but inside their dealerships that they actually have, they're always looking for things to do better for. So with UVeye, I'm sure you're doing the same thing, and I'm excited. I do know a dealer I just went up and visited recently. His name is Eric Barbosa. I saw his post about him being up there, and he says, hands down, the technology that you have to have for if you have a service department, period. If you're not doing it, you're going to get behind, and this is the way of the future. And I agree 100%. I love Eric Barbosa. I love what he talks about. I know he's a solutionary that knows what he's talking about. So when he went up there to visit and he went and did that, it made me even pay attention to it. And I was like, hold on a second, I'm interviewing Samantha. This is so cool. Like, what a small world, how all that works out and how it connects. But, I'm excited that you're here to ask that question. What is something that you guys see? Because right now you guys got some great stuff going on. What do you see the future of UVeye happening? What's going on with that?
Oh, the future of UVeye. It's hard to answer that question. Knowing everything I know that I can't like disclose yet, right?
Oh, well, we love
Get
to
it.
spill beans
Look,
on this
my
show.
boss is probably
Puppy.
watching like, what is Samantha gonna say right now? You know what? I think the most exciting part of what we're doing in the future of UVeye is probably just the growth aspect across the automotive industry
Right.
and really truly be leaders in how we're providing data to customers, right? So it's just a whole, we always say that we're setting a new standard of vehicle inspection, and that's really what we've set out to do. We want to set a standard that is truly revolutionizing both for the consumer and for the dealership side. So prior to coming to UVeye, I worked with the dealership group for 9 years. And so when I came to UVeye, it was really important for me to partner with a company that I believed was creating better solutions for the dealership, better solutions for the consumer, that it wasn't just going down one path, that it was going all the way down the path, right? And so I think just what we're building as far as transparency and helping bridge that gap, that trust gap, is really probably the most exciting piece. But we have a lot of new product updates that are coming in 2023. A lot of really exciting partnerships that we're working on. Last year, we announced our partnership with both Volvo and GM, who became investors. So it was really an exciting year. Wow. I never knew, I couldn't have even imagined what kind of a road this was going to be when I started. And then once I got on it, it has just been so exciting. It has been, every step of the way has been almost like a new learning curve. But not only a new learning curve for myself, for our company, for the people around us. It's almost as if we're feeding off the industry and the industry is feeding off of us, and we're just creating this really great circle that just is feeding to a consumer.
Oh. Well, and to kind of talk about that a little more, I know that it's obviously a little bit of an investment, obviously, to work with you guys. So unlike a direct mail campaign or something, a paid search campaign, where people can kind of come in and out. I mean, this is literally they're investing in in your technology to be part of their daily operating procedure. And so I'm assuming that sales cycle is a little longer, but obviously, but it's more, it's more of an investment into the dealership with you guys. How does that kind of look? I mean, are you talking to the fixed ops directors, the owners? Is it kind of a group type of scenario? I mean, how do you kind of see that that happening inside in your world, I should say?
You know what? So I think it's a little bit of both. We're talking to the fixed ops directors. We're talking to service managers. We're talking to general managers, and we're talking to dealer principals. I would say that it's just not one person that we're talking to. I think that we're really focusing on companies as a whole, because our technology isn't just in the service lane. So we like to look at our technology as multi-department. So it can be used in sales for trade appraisal, as well as in the F&I office for that sales to service handoff, and then all the way to the service lane. So, and it also can stay with the customer throughout their whole journey. So it's helping with retention in the service lane, as well as when they go through and they do their trade appraisal with it, right? Now they're getting a feel for it, and now they can kind of see what they're going to get on the service side. It's helping build that retention, showing the customer, here, this is what you get with our dealership. This is how we want to do business. And this is what we're providing for you guys. And this is how you can utilize it.
Love it. Awesome. And when you see people utilizing it, what's usually the first kudos or the first great news meeting that they're having after they start actually implementing a process where it does get used? Because we all know dealers, I mean, we know they don't really have bad habits of buying something that they never use, right? Right.
Well,
So inside of that, I
mean,
Yeah.
no
what
offense,
do you
no
usually-
offense, dealers. We're just
Yeah,
saying,
we're
like,
just
it
saying.
happens.
But what is usually the excitement that you hear initially when they first start seeing results or start communicating with their newfound technology?
I think it's something different for each person in a dealership. So for the service advisor, I think once they start to see the things that they maybe wouldn't have caught before. For example, I was at a Volvo dealership in Minnesota, Klein, and the service advisor, the lady came in with a baby, and she was just getting the hatch fixed on the back of her Volvo. And so they were never going to put it up on a lift. They were just going to do something really quick. And what they found out was that there was a leak in the underbody. So in that moment, both for that mom, that consumer who has her baby in her vehicle, right? So safety first, she was able to actually identify an issue that she wouldn't have been able to identify, or the service advisor would have probably never identified in that exact moment. So I think for the service advisor, it's maybe being able to see things, having that visualization that they didn't have before. I think it's really eye-opening for them. And then it's really exciting to see even customers. So when I'm wearing my UVeye jacket and I'm in a dealership, people are always coming up to me and asking me about the technology. Customers are excited about it. So I think that gets service advisors excited about it. And, we have some of our dealers that have been on with us for, a year or 2 years now. And to see that, transition where a customer is asking to see the full condition report, that's really powerful.
Oh,
I think that's spot on, because the biggest way you win in that situation, right, is when the customer, that customer is going to be in 6 or 7 times before they come in to buy, right? So if you keep it consistent and you're consistently showing those inspection reports, not only in the service drive, but when they're there to buy a used car, or when when you're doing a trade appraisal, if you consistently use that, guess what you just did to all of your competitors? They have to level their game up.
Amen
right?
to that, bro. Come on.
And so what UVeye is doing is they're pushing the envelope on innovation in the service department, which is good, because if you take us versus a Jiffy Lube or a Midas or what, the customer can watch their car the whole time and see everything that happens, right? We don't have the luxury of that. So the more ways that we can add transparency, the better, because that gains trust back, right? Because independents take 82% of all auto repair, but it shouldn't be that way. And so what Samantha and her team are setting you up for is when we do get EVs, and dealerships are going to have the technology before any of the independents. So all of the EV users are going to have to come back to the dealership first. So you're going to have first shot. If you have something like this that's transparent, with like super transparent about it, it's going to be a lot better experience than when they go somewhere else.
And you want to know what? It also is enhancing the consumer experience.
Yeah.
So it really brings a totally different experience to the customer, one that they're not used to all the time. So when you drive through our system and you're actually able to see anything that's wrong with the vehicle at the start of that service appointment, rather than waiting for a tech to put it up on the rack, figure out what's wrong, maybe call you in 2 to 3 hours and say, hey, you actually have a leak in your underbody. And you're like, really? Did I have that leak? There's this trust.
What they'll do.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. Did you guys break my car? Right?
Right.
Because they didn't think they had a leak before coming in. But if you're actually showing them at the start, if you can actually show them a picture, you can go out to the vehicle. You are just securing that sale right out the gate. You're building a better consumer experience. You're saving time. You're saving money,
And the key there, like you just said, is consumer experience, and when you do it at the beginning, so right. When the thing is like, you're right. When somebody calls you, a mechanic, it doesn't matter. Anybody calls you hours later about something that you dropped off to them and it's a problem that you had no idea about, the last thing you're going to do is believe them. You're going to be like, yeah, right, you did something to my car, because of the stigma, especially at automotive dealerships and in their service departments. It's the same with car sales too. It's no different, right? We got a stigma on us. But at the end of the day, when you're able to provide upfront, hey, look, I haven't even touched your car, and here's the proof. Here's pictures of it. Here's what it looks like. We can get this handled today, or we can set up an appointment for you later. Now you're a solutionary. Now you're somebody who's showing them an issue that's there, was prevalent before we even put it on the rack, before we even put a wrench on it and maybe cut the line on accident, right? We didn't do that. It's going on right now. But the great news is we caught it today instead of later. So, what do you want to do about it, Sir Mel, right? And I love what you guys are doing. And I think it's phenomenal. And I think that the customer experience is the key to everything in the future, period, hands down. If we're not giving people an experience, they're not going to drop dollars anymore. They want to feel like a memory happened, or they're just going to go digital, or they're just going to do everything online, right? And that's the thing. Like, they would rather, if they're going to do it in person, if they're going to deal with humans, give them an experience that is a digital experience with the human touch, right? And that's what I love about what's going on at UVeye right now. I think that's great.
And speaking of digital, obviously that's our niche, right? Online service marketing.
Let's go.
Everything that we've done over the last 4+ years is to try to give information, have transparency, educate consumers, give recommendations, things like that. So I actually had 2 questions that I wrote down that I wanted to kind of put in front of you, Samantha, and they can either be answered simultaneously and together, or maybe separately. But the first question I have is, we're really big in integrations and having vendors kind of work together, right? Example, we have a partnership with Sunbit where we integrate, and Dignify where we integrate repair financing into our coupons and into our offers to help that customer have more clarity on what options they have. My question to you is, are there any two-part question? Is there any other industry or any other vendors or companies that you guys maybe kind of partner with to kind of enhance that overall experience? And then second of all, is this a marketing opportunity for dealers to market it on their website, in their marketing, brochures, things like that? Or is this more of an operational product that isn't necessarily like, oh, hey, we've got UVeye, so we're, so let's talk about the market, but more when they come in, they understand the process is different because of that piece of equipment that's in their service drive. So maybe a 2-part question, maybe there's a combined answer there that can kind of, I'd love to hear what you have to say on that.
Great question.
Yeah, so I really think integrations are the key to any of us vendors to be able to work together to build better experiences, to make it easier for dealerships to adopt our technology. And so we have partnered with companies like Techion and CDK. DMS integrations are really important for us. But I can tell you at NADA, even before NADA, but it seems like at NADA, I almost felt like I was talking to as many vendors who wanted to talk about integration opportunities as I was dealerships at times during that. So I can tell you that we are in talks with quite a few different vendors with integration opportunities. So
Nice.
hopefully you'll see a lot more of that in 2023 from us. And then as far as marketing goes, we actually one of the things that our marketing team has built out are these dealer asset folders for dealerships. And this folder comes with everything to build out a landing page, emails for BDC, banners for you to utilize on your website to get the name out there. We're also doing a lot of custom work with any of our dealers to build out to really partner with them on their marketing initiatives. So one of the really great things about UVeye is we've really doubled down on how we're going to serve our dealerships, right? So we provide these performance managers. We give you direct connection to our marketing team, which is me, myself, Yaron, Annie, all of us, our graphic designer, our videographer, Ohad, Anthony, right? So you have all of these people in your corner helping you with your marketing initiatives. Because I know from working in a dealership that I never wanted a solution that everybody else had. I always wanted to take a vendor solution, and I wanted to customize it to fit the needs of my dealership, to make it feel exactly, to be on brand with myself, and to fit a strategy that I believed in. And maybe it wasn't, exactly the way that they were used to doing things. And it wasn't that I was opposed to doing things their way, but I also wanted to do things my way. And maybe that's just the way it is in the dealership. I know I've learned a lot on the vendor side, but I always wanted it my way, unless you could prove me wrong. I'm always ready to A and B test. And, I was proved wrong a couple of times.
No, I think you're spot on, because I don't think you want to just take cookie cutter stuff and throw it up. And I think that's what,
For sure.
we have an infrastructure with our program, but it's very customizable based on what the dealership's looking for and things like that. But we can talk about that more offline. But I'd love to maybe, kind of dig in that a little bit more, as we have mutual clients, how can we help get that out, inside our specials pages and landing pages and things like that. I think that would be a huge opportunity to, kind of help some of the clients that we're working with that also have your technology. And so, maybe let's circle back on that.
Be live to be an integration partner? Or you just
maybe.
Hey,
I'm going on.
and it happened right here on Fixed Ops Friday.
Hey, there you go.
No, but I do have to tell you, I watched your video on Spark, and I know that you guys announced it at NADA this year, and it was really exciting. I love your integration with Summit. I think it is so extremely important, right? Because I say this to people all the time. How can we prepare the customer? Because at the same time, a lot of people, they don't have money for tires. So our technology, when it tells you where your tread depth is, right? Maybe something as simple as that is going to better prepare them for, hey, you probably are going to need tires the next time around. And it kind of forces our condition reports, forces the conversation with the service advisor, because they're going over the full report with them. So it just flows naturally to have those conversations, and to be able to have financing options and things like that on your website, to be very transparent, and just to build a robust website that actually gives all of the different research points or information that a customer needs to be able to do business with the dealership, I think is really important.
I love that. I love what you're talking about. And I love that whole giving finance options, because if you go to Amazon now, they have finance options now, even on small products. It's so crazy. So it's out there. We need to have that availability for clients of all types, especially when they come to the service department. Not everybody has $1,000 to drop on a repair, but they do need it repaired. So what do? Well, we offer them opportunities for financing and ways that they can pay it back as soon as possible, but yet be within their budget. So it's great to be able to market all those things and integrate all the different great technologies and great software, great companies out there just doing amazing things for the service departments, fixed ops departments, sales departments, all of it, because it's a dealership, and we all grow together. When one side's doing great, the other side's doing great too, and we got to help each other do that, and being able to cross pollinate, as I would call it, all that type of marketing and those ideas together. I know for sure if I was in the sales department, if I knew I had the UVeye I would use it like crazy. Every car would be going through there. All my people have a problem with their car. I'm like, let's have it go through the inspection really quick. Let's just make sure that that your vehicle is good. This way they feel better. Say, hey, do you need me to put it through that UVeye one more time? Right? So just to make sure it's good. And that's what's so great about that technology, but being able to facilitate that, not just for fixed ops. I mean, that is a dealership tool, hands down. And I think that for me, it would make me feel way more secure in my purchase or my repair. So it works great. I mean, or if I was to, sell it myself, I kind of want to know what I have before I sell it to somebody else, even if I'm a private seller. Like maybe I use the UVeye when I go to a dealership, say, hey, what's going on with my car? Cool. Can I take that with me? Now let me sell my car. Right. So it's so much out there for that.
Let's talk a little bit about, okay, so I grew up in the dealership as a salesperson, right?
Yep.
So if I sell a car and it's CPO'd, right, and there's something wrong with that car and I have to bring it back in, guess what? I get a chargeback on my commission, right?
Uh-huh.
So what better way to give faith to the salespeople in the service department than to have one of those on every CPO car, every used car that comes through there. And then what it does for the service advisors is they don't like being salespeople. They don't even like salespeople half the time, right?
Right,
Let's just
so
be honest.
true.
There's like a natural rivalry between sales and service. There is.
Amen.
If you say they're not, then your store's a big exception.
Yeah,
But
do that.
if you think about this, it gives them third-party verification in the form of technology that's not the technician, that's not the service advisor, that's a third party that's validating them. So it's harder to argue with technicians. And so then they're able to take this consulting role where they're like, hey, I'm just trying to look out for you and your family. You might need tires 3 months down the road, right? So now you move from a salesperson to a consultant that is caring about their safety.
Bingo.
And that's what I really love about UVeye is that they have a tool that can be used that way. Now it has to be used. That's the biggest thing. Is it has to be every car, every time, no matter what. You have to bake it into your process. So
Well, it's funny because I actually had a dealership. This was 2017, even before we started Fixed Ops Digital, but we were doing some direct mail to their service customers, and we were doing like a Saturday free wheel alignments. And what it was, it's a machine that they just came through and just did the wheel alignments and just kept on going. And it was it's probably kind of a very watered down version of UVeye at the time or what have you. But man, the lines that it would draw of people coming in on Saturdays just to get that free service was unbelievable. And then of course, then the dealership was using it as a way to meet people, get more information, stuff like that. And it was unbelievable the amount of traffic that, so when you kind of combine marketing with the tech, you get something that's not available to every dealer out there. So I think more of that will happen as you guys continue to grow.
If you're using UVeye and you want to promote it, say, hey, if someone hides something on the underbody on their car, whether it be a magnet or whatever, and we can't find it, we'll give you $100. Do you know how many people you would have lined up?
Let's go.
Yeah. So, and then what does that do? That gives the service advisors confidence in the tools, a brand new tile, you get buy-in.
Have a little fun with it.
Campaign. So if you do something like that, there's so many different ways you can market something like this.
Oh I have to tell you, I do think people test it because we've seen certain where we're like, I think they're just testing to see.
But why not embrace it? Why not embrace that and say, come on, come test our new tools. See if you can get something past it, I
love that you said embrace. I love that you said that because that's really what we're trying to make sure that our customer does is embrace our process, that our people embrace our process, that everybody embraces the technology. Folks, as people in general, we run into a situation where we really don't know what we like. We like what we know, and we stay consistent on doing the things that we know are available to us, and we don't go through the change. Now, when your customer goes through a situation where they get their car examined, a service writer comes in and says all of the things that are pointed out inside of their UVeye report, and they see where it is that they can point a customer, that customer leaves here knowing something different. They know a different experience. Now they have a new level of knowing what they like. Now they have a new, wait a minute, well, I can't go anywhere else because I wasn't treated the same way I was before. You mean you don't have one of those reports? Like so-and-so up the street? Well, what am I even doing here, right? Once they get a taste of it, it changes things. Once you start to see the success rate with a service writer starting to see the benefits of it, then all of a sudden it transforms how the business actually operates. And then it does get implemented into the process where it does stay consistent because now we actually know why we like what we're doing. We see the results of what it is that we're doing, but we have to break the mold. What would you say, Samantha, for those that are like on the fence, trying to find out, hey, what is it that's this technology? What's it going to do to take me to the next level? What would you say for them to just crack open the window to be able to see into what it is that you're doing? What advice would you give for them, or what ways could they get more information to be able to kind of get the brochure version of what it is that UVeye has?
You know what? I think you just hit on it. I think it's really including the customer in the process. I think that's really the key. If you want to, the best way to build process is to include the customer in that journey, because really it's their journey, right? So
100%.
how are we aligning ourselves to do just that?
That's good. That's good stuff.
You know what I really love about all this is that you come from the dealership world, so you really know what we're talking about. You know what it's like to be there. I love that you were on the other side of the fence at one point. Now you're like, hold on a second. Maybe I was a little silly about certain things, but now I understand how to communicate with somebody that was like me, right? And that's what's important, that you're being able. Now you can figure out how to make it feel like it is for them, how to make it is going to be custom just for your dealership, just for you. How do you want the process to be? Because you know what you like, right? And I love that, and I think it's great that you had that experience. Because there's a lot of great experienced people out there, and I'm not saying you have to come from a dealership to be successful in automotive, not at all. There's a lot of great people who bring tons of perspective in a lot of ways, but there's something special about talking to somebody. If I'm an owner and you come to me and you want to talk to me about how I love talking to somebody that knows what I'm doing, where I've been sitting, been in my seat before, saying, hey, I know what it's like to have to operate this and figure out how to make this work. So big kudos to that. I'm glad they picked up a really good one here, Samantha. They're lucky to have you, that's for sure.
That's
Thanks,
so funny.
Matt.
That's so funny that you say that, right, Fred? Because we were talking about transitions today from people like Samantha, that you have to put yourself in these fixed ops guys' shoes, right? In these general managers' shoes. And the more that you can explain that thing in terms of their everyday business and how it fits in their everyday business, the easier it is to help them. And then the other thing that we talked about today, we had an internal meeting, and we talked about looking at things from the customer's perspective and how important it is to get the customer's perspective on stuff. And challenge, in a situation like this, most general managers and most managers in dealerships are type A personality, right? So if you challenge them and say, all right, we'll just, we'll see how many people that can come through, or how many that you can do, how many that and throw a challenge out there. And a lot of times they know that you care about their business because you're doing that. And I think that's the good thing about Samantha's totally confident. She has no problem doing that kind of stuff. So it makes it easy because you have to have that confidence. And at the end of the day, general managers and stuff like that, they're salespeople, right? So they respect the process, they respect the honesty, they respect the trying to make money. So
and the building of value, right?
Yeah.
The delivering of true value for a transaction on any side of the house is the responsibility of everybody in the house, is to bring as much value we possibly can to the table for our customers. Otherwise, they're going to seek more value elsewhere. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Oh, and did you have something on that? I thought you got ready to jump in there.
Man, you guys are saying it all. I like it. I'm just taking it all in right now.
I know. I think this was a great show today, folks. Audience, all you solutionaries out there, fixed ops, Friday heads out there watching the show right now or watching it on the replay, reach out to Samantha if you have any questions. What I could tell you is that she's happy to answer it. If she doesn't know the answer, she's not going to lie to you. She's going to tell you, I don't know the answer, and she'll find out for you. But what I could tell you, she probably has the answer. She probably can help you figure out how to make it a little bit easier.
Not all the answers. Not all the answers.
But reach out to her. I'm telling you that company's doing big things, and they're making a huge splash right now. And there's a reason why that, when Owen and of course Brad had mentioned that we were going to have Samantha on the show. I know Owen was like, we got Samantha, and then Brad's like, you can steal mine, right? I love that. That was so funny, right? Yeah. It was great. But I'm glad yeah, but it's great. It's great to have people like you, Samantha, on the show, people like you in our industry, people like you working and making a difference and really trying to make sure that us as car guys and car gals and all of us in this industry, that we are going to have a future, and the future is going to be bright because our customers are going to feel like we're being honest with them, that we're doing everything we can to make sure that their process, that their experience is phenomenal, right? It's all about their experience, folks. And that's where this whole show started off. It was all about customer experience. And we're going to make sure that we keep that experience going, and make sure you reach out to companies like UVeye, of course. And of course, you got to reach out to Fix Ops Digital, right? Because if you're not reaching out to Fix Ops Digital, you're missing out on an opportunity for your online service marketing, because online service marketing is the future. A store like this can use it. all you garages out there, I don't care how small or how big you are, reach out to them. Reach out to both these companies. Make sure that you get you some of that help that they have. These are Solutionaries helping people the right way. And I love that. I'm so glad we had the show today. I'm really pumped up about it, as you can tell. Samantha, thank you so much for being on the show. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here today?
No, just right back at ya. I think we're always better together. So.
Hey, there we go.
Hey!
Hey!
Wow.
Oh, a guest appearance. I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
He's got a good hat on.
I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh,
He
yeah.
knows what's going on, right?
Wow.
How's business, man? How's business?
I need
You
a
guys
hat.
are legendary.
Hey,
This is great, man.
JP, you're scheduled to get UVeye and all those bays next week. Just to let you know.
Just
Yeah.
One
Name, dog.
One thing that's for sure, Samantha, is he's willing to hear what it's about and
Yeah,
see
he's
how
all
it can
about
benefit his business. So we definitely
Okay,
want
we'll
for him
tell
to
you
do
right
that.
after this.
All right, perfect, Samantha. I'll make sure you guys get connected.
Well, we appreciate it. Well, everybody, we thank you so much for joining us on Fixed Ops Friday. This has been an incredible show. We are over here live right now in the Bayou Garage with Jean-Paul Guidry.
That's right.
We're over here in Motor City in Lafayette, Louisiana, and
right.
we're so thankful for you all joining us today. Car guys and car gals, thank you so much. Brad, Owen, you have anything to say before we get ready to head out of here? Forgive Focus Fly and keep growing.
Just join us in a couple of weeks. We got, I think we got a 5-week month, so I don't know how that works out, but we definitely got some great guests coming up in March, April. We're just going to keep educating, keep getting the fix ops side of things, the exposure it needs. We had a huge NADA, a lot of traffic coming through our booth, and I think everybody was there to do business. Everybody was there to really dig into their business this year, and it's companies like UVeye. They're going to help them, get to that next level if they're willing to put the investment in. And I'm excited to see their future as well as our own. And let's just keep this baby rolling. So,
That's right.
Heck yeah.
You got anything, Brad, before we get out of here, buddy?
Man, I don't have anything today, man. This was a good episode. It
Wait,
gets me
you're
pumped up.
speechless?
unbelievable.
I know, right?
I know. It's time for everything. I know. It's just encouraging to see people pushing the envelope on the fixed up side, because you always get it on the sales side and the marketing side. But fixed up is we're behind, let's be honest. And so it's nice to see people pushing the envelope to really give it its due,
Yeah, man. It is. You're so right.
Oh,
It
man.
is that time. It's time for all of us to fly. And speaking of flying, we got to drop these 3 F-bombs.
We
Don't
do.
go nowhere, JP. We're going to throw
So
the 3
real
Fs.
quick, though, because we do have a dealer. I mean,
Oh, okay.
it's not too often that we have a dealer go ahead and jump into the conversation with us. But on the side, because an incredible sales pro, as he is by nature, he is an incredible car guy from the sales side.
Phenomenal.
But then you took the bend into running and having this entire incredible operation here. How has been the mindset for you in shifting inside of making sure that people are aware of how awesome the facility is that you have and turning your focus towards the customer in that light? How has that been for you?
The beginning was extremely, it was kind of like starting a startup, but, and I always thought of it as, how many hamburgers am I going to have to flip to make some money back here? But, it's been absolutely amazing to watch it grow. And we're going on our 5th year at this facility with 26 bays. And we're not running at full capacity yet, but to watch it grow and turn profit, it's wow, it's like magical. Like, all right, maybe we do own a successful mechanic shop. And it was so fun. The beginning was so stressful. It's to hire a bunch of
But
people.
now it's paying for itself and
Yeah.
doing extra, man.
To get the work and the employees and for it to all meet together, it's awesome.
Yeah, now he's geared up with the staff of what most bigger franchise stores would have. So the excellence that he has inside of the space is incredible. And we're just so excited because that shows a lot of hope for you independents out there. You can stretch into this medium. You can open up a new profit center for your business.
Just not in his market. Just not in his market.
Here's not supporting you there, Lou. JP, how many employees do you have in the shop?
We have 30 total employees, but in the mechanic shop, we probably have 10.
So So if you look at
Service
that,
advisor,
right,
service manager.
you probably changed 10 people's lives too, right?
You did.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's my new
You know-
motto over here. You know, is making their dreams happen. You know, it's all about them, and that's been the most rewarding thing about being a dealer. So
That's this guy right here. That's why we love
Yeah.
JP.
That's awesome.
awesome.
Good
It
work,
is
sir.
Big
All right, well,
time.
you
Yeah,
know
we
what else he
appreciate
knows
you.
how to do? He knows how to drop those F-bombs.
Bam.
Okay.
Let's go.
So let's go ahead and get this Forgive, Focus, Fly going so we can get on out of here. Samantha, there you go. You ready? She's ready. Heck yeah.
On the count of
All right.
three, we're gonna forgive, focus, fly. 1, 2, 3. Forgive. Focus.
Fly.
And keep growing. Yeah.
Growing.
Thank you so much. Stick Stop Friday for you. You all go out there and have a great weekend. All you solutionaries, if you need anything, you know where to reach out. You need to get with Samantha. You need to get with Owen. You need to get with Brad, or just reach out to Fred and Lou. We'll make sure that you get connected with them. We know how to get a hold of them. We love you guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys soon.
Peace.